I welcome you all to the 768th Toastmasters meeting of Chennai Toastmasters Club. So to tell you all, learning is a continuous process, and our Toastmasters Forum is one such forum that helps us to learn continuously. Let me begin the meeting with a mission of our Toastmasters Club. The mission of every Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in such a way that the members are empowered to improve their communication skills and leadership skills, thereby resulting in greater personality development and greater confidence. Let me tell you all a few ground rules for the meeting. First and foremost, I request you all to keep your cell phones or mobile phones on mute. Please do not speak on the taboo topics such as sex, religion, or politics. I request you all to kindly sit in an atmosphere so that you can hear what the speaker is speaking. Kindly remain on mute unless and otherwise it is your turn to speak. Only then I request you all to unmute yourself. Also, if you have any message to share, kindly use the chat box below. With these rules, I hand over the proceedings to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Ranju. Let me tell you all a few words about our presiding officer, Toastmaster Ranju. Toastmaster Ranju is working with the Asian Paints, and he's a very dynamic person, and he's all set to take the legacy of our club forward. With this, I invite you, Toastmaster Ranju, to take over the proceedings. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta, for the introduction. And I would like to formally welcome one and all again for this wonderful meeting, the 768th meeting of Chennai Toastmasters. Dear Toastmasters and guests. So today I was thinking what to speak on this wonderful occasion, and there is one thing that came to my mind. Today is a special day, actually. Would anyone know what day today is? What is today known for? You can all unmute yourself and just try to say.
Zach's birthday.
Sorry?
Zach's birthday.
Yes. Today is Abraham Zacharias' birthday. Happy birthday to you, sir, if you're here.
Also, Albert Einstein.
Yes. It's Albert Einstein's birthday. Yeah, that is somewhere like I was getting at. So today is also the day when the world celebrates the invention of pi, the mathematical number 3.14. So I was just thinking, mathematics is actually everywhere around us. And if we really notice, we would get to know the beauty of the nature and how much mathematics is involved in the nature around us. So there are numbers like pi. There are numbers like golden ratios. So golden ratios is also a number called phi. It is actually 1.63. And both of these numbers are irrational numbers. That means it never ends. So I would like to tell you an example. Golden ratio, people used to see how symmetrical is their face, how much beauty has in their face by seeing if the ratios of their face are according to the golden ratios. I would not want to reveal what is golden ratio. I would like you all to go and check what is golden ratio and see if this natural symmetry is applying to yourself also. So just wanted to take a moment to take these 2 points, and if we could all just take a moment to actually see how much these mathematical ratios are around us in the world, we would see the world in a much different way. And that is one point which I wanted to bring in. And with this, I would like to also say that we have successfully conducted a test run of the hybrid meeting, which we are planning to conduct from next week, yesterday. So the venue is at Antispot. So we had the entire ICOM team who were doing the testing, and we would be doing a demo meet by next Saturday. So I would request if any people to join from our clubs so the demo meet, so that for Sunday we would be moving in. We'll be also giving a formal announcement for this. So with this, I would like now to hand over the controls to our Toastmasters of the day. I would like to tell all the guests who are joined today with us, like that we would be taking the feedback at the end of the meeting about what you felt about today's meeting and any points which you have, which we could take forward. So today's Toastmaster of the day is a very special person, and we have not had like this Toastmaster as the Toastmaster of the day for a long time. So that is one other specialty of this meeting. She is none other than the District 120 Leadership Committee Chair, and she is she's one of the founders of our club as well. So I would now like to hand over the controls to the distinguished Toastmaster Nina John for taking forward as the Toastmasters of the day today. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, President Toastmaster Ranju, for that introduction, and welcome to all those who have attended today's meeting, giving up their Sunday afternoon siesta for an evening of fun and education. What is Toastmasters all about? Just as our Sergeant at Arms explained, we are a non-profit international organization for the empowerment of individuals. Headquartered in currently Colorado, Toastmasters has completed almost 100 years. Started by a gentleman called Ralph Smedley. He was working at what is called the YMCA, or the Young Men's Christian Association, and he was trying to get together young men who needed to understand how to talk better, how to plan meetings, how to organize meetings, and generally communicate better. So that's really what Toastmasters is all about. It's about speaking better. It's about organizing your thoughts effectively. It's about delivering those thoughts in the most expressive and impactful manner in perhaps the shortest amount of words. Our Toastmasters meeting is exactly the same anywhere in the world. We are now present in more than 351 countries and have more than 16,400 clubs. So just think of it. You can walk into a Toastmasters club in Sydney or Cincinnati, China or in Chennai. The meeting structure is exactly the same. If you can't walk in, log onto their Zoom meetings, and we can travel the world and see the structure is exactly the same. The Toastmasters structure for meetings is very simple. Prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations. How do we conduct these and how do we go ahead with these? You will see as the meeting unfolds. But just as every meeting is conducted by an entire array of volunteer Toastmasters, our first role player for today is also called the General Evaluator. The General Evaluator's role is to be the quality control expert for every meeting. The aim is part of our values of excellence. Toastmasters has 4 values that we run by: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. In pursuit of excellence, every single meeting of Toastmasters has a general evaluator with a team of members who help that person run the meeting efficiently. Our general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Rekha, has been with Toastmasters for quite some time. She was with us earlier and then she took a break. Earlier she was with us, she was president, secretary, and all of those. Back again after a long stint now, and she is now an entrepreneur with a fabulous training institute of her own, which conducts training for project management across the globe. We have Toastmaster Rekha donning the role of general evaluator today. Madam Toastmaster Rekha.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Nina John, for the wonderful introduction. And myself, Rekha, I am the general evaluator for today's meeting. My role or my responsibilities as a general evaluator is to observe the entire meeting and make a note of what went well and what could have and the points of how the meeting can be moved to the next level of excellence. To help me observe the proceedings of the meeting, I have two sets of team. One set of team are evaluators who will be evaluating the prepared speaker's speech and provide their evaluation. I will be calling the other set of this set of evaluators later. But now the other set of team who will be supporting me is the tag team. Tag in the sense like timer, R counter, and grammarian. Let me introduce one by one the role players for you to have a better understanding of their roles and responsibilities. So for today's meeting, the timer is being played by Toastmaster Deepak. So to introduce Toastmaster Deepak, he is the project lead in L&T. When I saw this word of the day, enigma, I was tempted to understand from various people like what is their enigma in their life at various point of their life. So when I asked Deepak what is his enigma, he said like understanding someone, like when he is getting introduced to a new person, a new acquaintance, even after 1 years of time, they remain a mystery. They remain an enigma for him. So this is his enigma. With this, let me hand over the control to Toastmaster Deepak to share his roles and responsibilities as a timer for today.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rekha. As a timer, my responsibility is to note down the entire timings for all the speakers, as well as the making sure the entire meeting is going on time, and also with the table topics speakers. And the time limit for all the speakers will be 5 to 7 minutes. And 5 minutes at the fifth minute, I will be displaying a green card, and at the 6th minute, I will be displaying a yellow card, and at the 7th minute, I will be displaying a red card. So for the speakers who is delivering an icebreaker speech, who is having a time limit of 4 to 6 minutes, I will be giving a green card at the 4th minute, and I will be giving a yellow card at 5th minute and a red card at the 6th minute. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Rekha.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Deepak. I missed, like he is again playing the role of the R counter. Back to you, Toastmaster Deepak, for you to share the roles of the R counter.
Yes, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rekha. As a R counter today, it is my responsibility to note down any overused words or filler words such as crutch, used as crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so, and sounds may be or and these sounds I will be noting down and presenting my report until called upon. When called upon.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Deepak. So now it is time for us to invite Toastmaster Vasant, who is playing the role of grammarian. So he is a postgraduate in business management. He is part of his business, family business. And apart from that, he also trades. He is a trader and an economist. Very interesting profile. And again, his enigma is the pyramids of Giza and the surroundings. So definitely it's not only the 7 wonders of the world or whatever number of wonders is this, it is definitely an enigma for every one of us. So Toastmaster Vasant, can you share your roles and responsibilities as grammarian?
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rekha. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll also take notes of any misuses of the English language, as well as outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day today. For today's meeting, the word is enigma. Again, for today's meeting, the word is enigma, which means a person or a thing that is mysterious or difficult to understand. An example of using the word is black holes are the most perplexing enigma in astronomy. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you. Thank you.
Come back.
I think Rekha has had a problem.
Okay, so let me fix that. Meanwhile, back to you, DTM Neena John.
All right. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. So, the great enigma of our generation, technical glitches. How do they happen? When do they happen? Why do they happen when we need them the most? When we have absolutely something very, very vital to do. But that's Murphy's law, not necessarily the law of enigmas. We move on now to two interesting things that we have in Toastmasters. Now, remember, every single Toastmasters club is free to add their own innovations, tweaks, whatever they like within the general structure of prepared speeches, evaluations, and table topics. Chennai Toastmasters has two features. One is the quote master and one is the idiom master. One is the quote master to tell us, give us interesting quotes that we can use in our speeches. And today we have Senthil Kumar, who is a business development manager in an educational technical company, EdTech company, all right? And I'm sure he will find this very useful for his work also. So may I invite Quote Master, Toastmaster Senthil, to give us his quote.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for that introduction. Good evening, everyone. All of us have dreams, ambitions, and goals, but how many of us really act on it? Only very few take the steps towards pursuing their dreams, and others are too afraid to come out of their comfort zone. Most of the times, we put our dreams aside in the closet by telling ourselves that I'll start working on it later. It's not because we don't have time or we are lazy. It's because of fear of change, fear of rejection, fear of failure, and most importantly, fear of others' judgment and what they will talk about us. So we should not let this hold us. Fear is part of the game. Trying things outside of our comfort zone is essential because your ability to grow as a person depends on how you handle your insecurities. We must keep on working on our insecurities so that we can keep growing. Else, we might miss out on a lot of opportunities that comes our way. Coming to today's quote, it's a very powerful quote from Darren Martin. The comfort zone is the death zone. I repeat, the comfort zone is the death zone. Having said this, if you don't come out of your comfort zone and face your fears, the number of situations that makes you uncomfortable will only keep on growing. Coming out of your comfort zone is tough at the beginning, chaotic in the middle, but awesome in the end because it shows you a whole new world. So make an attempt like I'm making one now. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Senthil, for demonstrating what it is like to be in a dead zone and getting out of it. So I'm sure all of us understand exactly what you're feeling. We move on to our idiom master, who is very interestingly a competitive cyclist. So I'm sure a lot of us would be interested in finding out how he's going to cycle into the meeting today with his idiom. Back to you, Toastmaster Srijit.
Thank you, Neena, for this introduction. Hi, I'm Srijit, and as the idiom master for today, I would like to take you all for a small trip to early 1940s. Sir Winston Churchill was a very powerful man and an epitome of leadership. He took Britain, the great country, from the brink of defeat to victory against Nazi Germany during the very dark days of World War II. He once famously spoke about Russians' intentions, and he called it a riddle wrapped in an enigma. A riddle wrapped in an enigma is an idiom which is used to show a very deep, dense, secretive stuff, so much that it is incomprehensible. The usage, an example of this usage would be, I tried going through my Max notes the day before my exam, and it was a riddle wrapped in enigma. Going back to the dark years of World War II, so many countries and the leaders set aside their differences and came together to work hand in glove to defeat the Axis forces. If this wasn't the case, the world would have been in very hot water for a long time. The idiom to be in hot water is an idiom to show a situation where there's very imminent danger. An example of this usage would be, as I couldn't go through my notes the day before, I was in very hot water on my exam day. Another idiom which I use here is hand in glove. Hand in glove is to show a situation where two different things work in tandem. My anxiety, an example of this usage would be the following. My anxiety goes hand in glove with my exam schedule. As you can see, my math exam has given me terrors, but not my history. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srijit. I think you can tie that up with what TMOD said. Your anxiety level and your comfort zone will vary in the inverse proportion to almost like your pi values when you have exams and you don't know anything of what you're doing. So that's what things are about. We move on now to what is called the prepared speech section. Now, whenever we say Toastmasters, people say, Toastmasters is all that place where everyone goes and gives fabulous speeches and that's the end of the story. No, Toastmasters is where you learn how to deliver speeches so that you can communicate effectively at your workplace, in professional situations, in so many situations that you need. As mentioned just now, if you are in hot water because of your results, how many of you have, on the way back from school, had a whole speech prepared in your head to tell your parents, oh my God, that paper was so tough. That teacher hates me. Nobody in class passed. Prepared speeches are part of our DNA. The only thing is, how do we ensure that they reach the right audience at the right time in the right way? We have today 3 fabulous speakers, each of whom has prepared a speech according to the objectives given in the Pathways manuals. And I will also show you how each of these Pathways manuals is related to our real life. And we're going to see how each individual deals with speeches and how each evaluator views those speeches and how they are delivered. So we have our first speaker, who is Toastmaster Tarun. He's going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Jagdish. And since Tarun is delivering an icebreaker from the Dynamic Leadership Manual, I will leave it to Toastmaster Jagdish to read out his objectives, and then we will introduce Toastmaster Tarun. Toastmaster Jagdish, your evaluation, please.
Good evening, everyone. So Toastmaster Tarun will be delivering his icebreaker speech from the PAP Dynamic Leadership. Objectives are the speech may be humorous, informational, or any other style. Timer, please note time is 4 to 6 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster Tarun.
Thank you, evaluator. And good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. And I would like to start my icebreaker speech with an important lesson I have learned in my life. I had many lessons, but I feel this is the one most important lesson I have learned. I used to start with vigor, anything with vigor, but not with passion. But it will not even last for 2 months. One such incident was my love for oil painting. When after finishing 10th standard, I was so curious to learn oil painting. I learned it and I practiced for 6 paintings. After that, I didn't go near it. due to my 11th and 12th standard, and I gradually lost my interest in it. I have done many things like that. For example, reading books and writing a diary, etc. Recently also, I was very enthusiastic to do a study lamp out of waste materials. I have finished 75% of it in 2 weeks time, but next 25%, I don't know when I'm going to do it. It's been 1 month. It's simple work of just wrapping jute ropes around the body of the lamp. I'm finding some or the other reason for not doing it. One incident which turned me is cycling. I love to explore a lot and go on a solo ride to far off places. After lockdown was partially released in October 2020, I started my cycling and I loved it. I used to wake up by 4 in the morning, do some yogas and stretches, and start. And by sharp 5, I would start. I don't know where I'm going, but I will go. I will set a goal to reach 50 kilometers up and down each day. So I will plan accordingly. I enjoy the early morning breeze and birds chirping and the empty roads. As I loved it, I did it with passion and vigor. The last ride I went was Mahabalipuram. I started in the 3 in the morning. At 10 a.m., I was back. It was around 126 kilometers. I didn't feel any stress, tiredness, and I also didn't feel bored, even though I went alone. So we both need passion and vigor to attain final result or hit our goal. If any one thing is missing, we'll not able to continue. Coming back, I'm alumni from DAV. I'm an average scorer in academics. The best part of my life was school. For who it will not be, we will be having most of our good memories in school. I'll share some of those. The first one is we put sugar in PT teacher's bike, petrol tank, because he didn't allow us to play for past 1 month. Usually we'll be having 2 periods per week. He just made us to do exercise. And the other incident was to my social science teacher. She saw many partialities. So a group of friends, a group of 5 members, including me, we just punctured a car's tire. Thank God, no teacher or camera found us. I love to make friends at school. More than 50% of them are my friends. At last, after finishing my 12th standard, I joined BG Vaishnav College and I'm doing my first year BCom Accounting and Finance. I feel some awkwardness after joining my college as it's co-ed. Yeah, DAV is not co-ed. I even feel shy. And there are some goals for me. My long-term goal is I need to enter any top 10 B schools in the world. And my short-term goal is to get good marks in my college. And I'm having a medium-term goal too. That is to reduce my weight. My hobbies are eating food at different restaurants. You don't believe, I have a list of 150 restaurants in my phone, so that I can go there and take a note of it, and I can eat and write a review. I think due to this only I'm not able to achieve my medium-term goal. And my other hobbies are to go cycling and do some sketches. And I even got a signature from Rajnikant for drawing him. I love to be punctual. My family members have a good choice or a good attitude that they increase my heartbeat at the last minute. During my 10th standard, I reached my board exams were arriving at the last board exam. It was 9 o'clock, the reporting time. But I started from my home from my home 8:30. My father left me sharp mind. I don't know why. I'm living in a joint family. My father is a businessman. He's doing interior works and renovation works for houses and offices. He also runs a catering company named Annam. My mother cooks there and do some back office accounting too for some macro industries. We live in a joint family. I have a sister. She's also studying in DAV. We usually fight like World War III. My grandfather and grandmother will be the spectators. And now I have mapped out my life and myself here. Let the awkwardness, let the ice of awkwardness melt away to be replaced with warmth of friendship. That is always a lot to learn in life, and I hope to learn more about you and myself in the process. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tarun. So you taught us a lot of things. I like that last quote about the awkwardness of friendship being replaced by warmth. And I like the idea of cycling around, which just proves that all those who wander are not lost. So that's a lovely way of this thing. We move on now to our second speaker. Now, Tarun's manual was dynamic leadership, which is about we say Toastmasters makes leaders. So the entire path is about leadership and handling situations in terms of how it should be done. Our next speaker, Toastmaster Nanda, will be talking from the Engaging Humor Manual. Now, Toastmaster Nanda is a stalwart of CTM. He's been with us for a long time. He's been with Cisco, and he is our tech go-to person. So he's going to really step out of his comfort zone. The manual he has taken is Engaging Humor. Now, this is his second part. So when you look at Tarun and say, Tarun gave his icebreaker, now what is there for Nanda to talk about his icebreaker all over again? So Toastmaster Nanda's title is Second Delivery, which is a wonderful title for his thing. And I will request his evaluator, Toastmaster Srikanth, to read his objectives. Toastmaster Srikanth.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster Nanda, who is delivering his icebreaker speech, has two objectives which he needs to incorporate in his speech. The first being, he needs to introduce himself to all of us who are listening. And the second objective is for Toastmaster Nanda to understand the basic structure of public speech. These are the two objectives. And Toastmaster Nanda has 4 to 6 minutes for his speech. I wish Toastmaster Nanda all the very best. And back to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Evaluator Toastmaster Srikanth. And I will request Toastmaster Nanda, before we start, Toastmaster Nanda, can we check the timer card, please? Deepak, can you just see if it is working? I think we've enabled screen sharing.
Yes.
Screen sharing.
Yeah, we couldn't see for the first speech. Timer cards.
Right.
Yeah,
so is it working?
Yes, it's working at the red card. Yeah.
Oh, it's only red card?
Earlier, only activated at the red card. So I was show only red card, but now it's all working now. It's good.
All right.
Thank you.
All good for Toastmaster Nanda and his second delivery.
Thank you, TM Modi. Good evening, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. If delivering your first speech is like delivering your baby for the first time, even though it is the second time, it is the same complexity, the same process and the creativity that is involved. From the first delivery, what you can take is that confidence, but still in a second delivery, it needs to still work out. And it has to come out without any complications, with colorful colors. In my journey in Toastmasters, I had 3 massive transformations, which I would like to share with you. The first transformation is I stopped talking. Yes, you heard it right. I stopped talking nonsense. Earlier, I used to keep on talking and talking and talking. The people hearing me would wonder, oh, what hell this guy is talking? What is he blabbering? When he'll talk? What a bad day I had getting caught with all this gyan. But now I started to think deeply, listen deeply to what others talk. I form all thoughts as ideas in my mind, segregate that beautifully, and deliver what is absolutely required for the person or the audience who stand before me. Interesting, isn't it? How this transformation happened and what Toastmasters enabled it. In Toastmasters, we always deliver content within a time window. So subconsciously, we are trained to organize content into words and sentences which are absolutely required just to drive the point across within a time window. So this practice enabled me to become a better speaker who doesn't talk nonsense anymore and talks just what is required for the people and for the audience. The second transformation is the idea of perfectionism. Whenever I would like to do some work or some task, I would always think or worry about how other people will think about my job or what will be their perception. This would be my underwriting factor. I will hide all my misconceptions, my failures within a mask of perfection, just to be seen as someone perfect before others. I would shamelessly imitate others, take others' job, see others' videos, see others' thoughts and copy, because I don't want to be seen someone as a failure. But after joining Toastmasters, I realized that people love when you are yourself. People connect with you instantly when you share your personal struggles, your personal story, your success stories, etc. And people are so smart that they will automatically detect when you're faking it. This is one lesson which helped me in real life as well. I don't have to fake someone else. I don't have to imitate someone else to be myself. All I have to do is think deeply and communicate what is there within me so that people around me will appreciate it. The third important transformation I had is the purpose of life. After working 12 years in a corporate company, I felt like a 12th man in cricket. I accumulated a lot of assets like silver in my hair, sugar in my blood, fat in my stomach, and stones in my kidney, an inexhaustible supply of natural gas in my body. I realized that I lost my purpose in life. I'm stuck in life. I'm not moving anywhere. But Toastmasters helped me to come out of this ditch. With better confidence and better public speaking skills, it opened the doors of opportunity to me. In work, people don't no more see me as a secluded, silent guy. They see me as a person who can handle any complex projects, any irate customer, and I have become the go-to guy in my office, just in a span of a year of joining Toastmasters. Even out of work, I started to take classes for college students in my passionate area of technology, which is machine learning and data science. Toastmasters has again made this possible. Today, I'm starting my new path, engaging humor in Toastmasters. The baby which I delivered in the first delivery is doing really well and awesome. And I hope the baby which I'm going to deliver today will do well with all your gracious support and blessings. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda. And what I liked really about that speech was where you said, you don't have to fake it. Authenticity of personal experience carries its own message. Now, one of the many quotes that we have about public speaking is one that says, A good speaker is one who has passion for the subject and compassion for the audience, which is one of the reasons why Toastmaster speeches are confined to 7 minutes or less. Today, however, I'm going to reverse that and ask those of you who are here as audience, guests, please have compassion for our speakers. Put on your videos, because the true art of public speaking is to speak to our public. So unless we know you're there, we can't do anything. We draw energy as speakers from the reactions of people, the smiles, the nods. It's a non-verbal interaction that we have with speakers and with the audience, and that's what makes Toastmasters' life so interesting. Thank you so much for all those who've turned it on now, and I hope you keep that on till we finish and don't turn it off after my speech is over. We move on now to our third speaker, who is one of our bubbly new entrants in CTM. She works for Siemens, she plays badminton, and she plays the ukulele. If you don't know what the ukulele is, we're friends. I didn't know either. I had to Google it. But Toastmaster Ratika is going to do her manual speech on presentation skills. Her evaluator, Toastmaster Venu Neelakantan, will give you her speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Venu.
Thank you, TM Modi. Good evening, one and all, and special good evening to my target speaker. As TM Modi said, Toastmaster Ratika is going to deliver her project number 1 from the level 2 from the Path Presentation Mastery. Her project title is Understanding Your Communication Style. Her speech title is Finding Your Style. The project objectives are for the members to learn about different styles of communication and identify her own style. Also to share the impact of her style on others. Timer, please note that time is 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, TM Modi.
So, Madam Toastmaster Ratika is finding her style. Toastmaster Ratika.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Understanding your communication style. When I launched this project, I was supposed to take a self-evaluation quiz to know my communication style. The quiz included some thought-provoking questions, and after answering them, I got my result. I got maximum points for supportive communication style. I was intrigued. What is this? Therefore, I read the paragraph that followed. It said, "The style is calm, steady, approachable, sincere, and gentle." Because the person with a supportive communication style dislikes change, they might sometimes appear as indecisive. Due to their active listening skills, others see them as cooperative, dependable, and loyal. They put high priority on close relationships and try to avoid conflicts. They may mediate if necessary. As I read this paragraph, how Toastmasters International know me so well. Even my parents don't know me that well. Some of my incidences from the past where I might have portrayed these traits. Let me share one of those with you. 3 months back, I had a job offer in hand. It was a startup located in Hyderabad. The HR was so sweet that she even offered me to stay at her house if I don't find an immediate accommodation. The salary was also great. It was almost double of what I was being paid at that point of time. There was cons as well. There was no work from home, one. Second, because it is a startup, they did not have weekend holidays. Right? When my manager came to know about this offer, he increased my salary in the same company. I was so accustomed to working from home, being with my family, and enjoying the weekends that relocating to Hyderabad seemed to be a tedious task. I made a list of pros and cons. I consulted a lot of family members, and eventually I decided to stay in the same company. but the most difficult job was yet to be done. Calling the HR and informing her that I would not be coming, I would not be joining, and that too just 1 week before the joining date. That conversation. I would want it to remain an enigma for all of you. Anyways, when I analyzed this incident of mine, I realized that I portrayed many traits of being a supportive speaker. And I did not want my schedule to change drastically. I took my time to take decisions. I gave importance to my family. And last but not the least, I did not want to have that uncomfortable conversation with HR. Does supportive communication style come only with disadvantages? No. People love you because you are approachable. You listen to them carefully. You suggest them. They love you because they trust you, because you do not take hasty decisions. You think through them. And no style is good or bad. This is just who you are. Let us all embrace our styles. At the time, can we tweak the way we react to some situations so that we are at an advantage? Well, yes. We can adopt different communication styles in different scenarios. Let me introduce all of you to the rest of the 3 communication styles which you might belong to or you might adopt in your near future. The second communication style is initiative style. These people are fun-loving, they like to socialize, and they are enthusiastic. They love sharing stories with people, and they love sharing their experiences. This time, I can proudly say that Toastmasters has enabled me to adopt this communication style. Let me tell you that I recently went to Rajasthan. I met tons of family and friends, and I realized to communicate with people. But this was not the case a year ago. This has all been possible after joining Toastmasters. Some of them even came up to me and said, Ratika, you are much more fun now. Good going. Thank you, he said. Those were golden words for me. Moving on, the third communication style is analytical style. These communicators love facts and figures. They like to be precise, they like to be task oriented, and they like to be logical. Let me take all of you back to the time when I had to decide between 2 jobs. My father asked me to write down the salary breakup of both the offers, calculate tax deductions, and analyze them to make a better decision. In this way, he enabled me, or else I should say, he suggested me to adopt the analytical approach to solving problems. Last but not the least, direct communication style. These people like to be seen as competitive, confident, and they love solving challenges. Also, they don't like to be told the same things again and again. Refrain from doing that. Even I don't like to hear people telling the same thing over and over again and again. But my supportive communication style encourages me to listen patiently to people. It sometimes becomes a tug of war sort of situation between the direct communication style and supportive communication style. I still haven't figured out how to react in such situations. On a serious note, I've always found it struggling to answer this commonly asked question. Even you might have come across it at some point of your time. The question is, describe yourself in a word or 2. Well, just describe them how you found your style. And there you'll have your answer. I have found mine. Have you? Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ratika. Very interesting going through all those different communicative styles, direct, initiative, and I mean, in terms of all the rest. But let's also remember communication styles depend on the context and the situation. So somebody who's a dragon in the office, maybe a dragonfly at home, and vice versa. So let's see how we work out in different situations and how it goes on. We move on now to our most entertaining session, as a lot of people call it, the table topic session. Now, table topics. Now, everyone says, oh, prepared speeches are easy. And, you know, it's such fun having prepared speeches because all I got to do is learn something by heart for 5 minutes and then deliver it. Table topics are so difficult because I have to think. But table topics are what you actually need in real life. Table topics are the secret weapon of professionals. When your manager asks you for that set of accounts that you have not done, or asks you one inconvenient question during the meeting, you have a choice. Either you know it and impress everybody with the answer, or you don't know it, and then again your decision tree splits. You can either say, I don't know, or you can say, sir, Ritika was discussing this during the break. She is the right person. We will ask her this question, and the monkey is off your back. The other advantage of table topics, if you can't convince them, confuse them. Remember, it's far easier to speak for 5 hours without a topic and an objective than it is to speak for 2 minutes with a specific objective. Our Toastmaster for today, Table Topics Master, is Lakshmi Narayanan. He's been with CTM for some time, took a break and came back. And now he's our Vice President, Public Relations. He's the one responsible for all the flyers and all the communications from Toastmaster CTM. And I will invite him now to conduct the table topic session. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan.
Thank you, DTM Neena ma'am. Thank you so much. You covered most of the part for the table topics introduction. So let me introduce myself first. I'm Lakshmi Narayana. I'm your table topic master for this evening. And as Neena mentioned, it's going to be a very interesting and fun portion of our meeting because table topics allows us to practice our impromptu speaking skills. Okay, so that we can develop our impromptu skills much through this table topics forum. So it also helps you to quickly organize and express our thoughts in short duration of time. It's like more like a mini speech. Like we have seen prepared speeches, but table topic is like a mini speech. You can have a proper opening, body, and conclusion as you want. Okay, so I would request members who are not part of any roles to volunteer, and also guests are also welcome to give the table topic speech. I'll pick one. And just to give timings for this and the rules for these table topics is that as a table topic speaker, you need to speak for at least 1 minute to get qualified for voting. So please speak even beyond that. So you'll get a green light at 1 minute, and yellow light after 1 minute 30 seconds, and red after 2 minutes. So after 2 minutes, you have a grace period of 30 seconds to wind up your speech, and beyond that it will be you can continue to speak, but it will not be counted for voting. So with this, I think we can start with this table topics, and I would so far I got only 2% for showed interest for the table topics. Let me pick the first guest here. That is guest Sri Kiran. Are you available? Guest Sri Kiran.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. I'm
yeah, no, okay. Guest Sri Kiran. So here's a quote. I just want to say the quote, and you can talk about the quote. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. guest Shrikaran.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I do agree with the quote. Happiness is, in fact, when what we think, what we do, and what we say are all when they all come together. Most of the times, I think we need some structure in our life. So that's why, we plan our days. So we plan, I should do uh, this task during this time in the morning. And then, so everybody makes a schedule. Without a schedule, our life becomes unstructured and it leads to us having no aim. So that is why so what we think is what we want to do, because when we plan what to do for the rest of the day, um, it helps achieve our goals faster. So when what we do is in harmony with what we think, I think it makes us achieve our goals and hence makes us happy. So yes, I do indeed agree with the quote. Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, guest Shrikaran. Like, you covered it very well. You're good for a prepared speech as well. So the next speaker, next table topic speaker, is there any volunteer here, either from guests?
Yes.
Hi, ma'am. Okay. So what should I call you as? Netra, right?
Yeah, Netra.
Okay. Good evening, Netra.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Okay, this is again a quote. A man does what he can, a woman does what a man cannot. A man does what he can, a woman does what a man cannot. Over to you, Netra.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, like you said, a man can do, can you repeat, sir?
A man does what he can, a woman does what a man cannot.
Okay. Yes, when the quote just appears to me in the front, the first one is, man cannot handle emotions much, but the woman handles it much better. And woman as such is a multitasker, which a man doesn't have such quality, is what is my belief. So a man is focus oriented, so he just takes up the task which is on priority to them, to a priority to him, whereas a woman can handle in even at a time she can attend to 3 tasks as well. So she just goes beyond her comfort level and attends to a good amount of she has good amount of energy and the presence of mind to take up any challenges that has put in front of her. Whereas a man, he just needs so much of planning. He wants to do, he wants to excel, he wants to give up give most of the perfection to his tasks. So he chooses 1 or 2. So a woman she is not controlled by any particular task. She, whatever you throw on her, she wants to give a try. She wants to participate in that. She just want to see, okay, I can do it in that way. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. It just reminds me that if whatever he gives to a woman, it multiplies back to the man. So if you give love, it will be multiplied. If you give hatred, it will multiply. Yeah. Thank you. It was a nice speech.
Thank you, sir.
So any other guests who's interested? Okay. Let me. Is Puneet available there?
Yes, Toastmaster Lakshmi.
Okay. Hi, Puneet. So I am trying to not give you any tough question, but still, an idle brain is devil's workshop. An idle brain is devil's workshop. But the question is, When was the last time you had an idle brain that became a devil's workshop?
That's a thought-provoking topic, Toastmaster Lakshmi. When was the last time they say idle's man is this workshop, devil's mind is? So I think it happens every now and then. Let's face it. There are sometimes we feel that there are so many things to do, yet so little time. And then we look at our life or asking ourselves, oh my God, I've done all these years just to land up here. So no doubt during ideal time, we get this strange thoughts. Sometimes we even doubt our own purpose, as how Toastmaster Nanda pointed out in his beautiful speech. But now, having said that, I think ideal time is necessary, but provided what you do in that ideal time. And let me share you two examples. Now, I used to be the person who used to indulge in binge watching, so many other things, which is expected of a 20-year-old person. But that did not get me anywhere. You see, neither CTS or TCS said me yes, because I was not capable enough to get a good job because of my pathetic skills. When was the last time you were serious about your life? I realized that I was getting rejected by the mass recruiters in the first place. So then my father scolded me very badly. He made me realize, and he forced me to join Toastmasters. And after that, life did change. There are mentors who came and helped me and made me realize the importance of using the ideal time. Fellow Toastmasters, all of us have spare time in our life, but what we do with it ultimately matters. I have another friend of mine who has good amount of free time, but he indulges in crime patrol, CID, so many stupid soap operas. And I was just having a candid conversation with him, and I realized, man, God, I'm grateful to my mentors who I found. I'm glad that I failed early in my life. Because let's face it, most of us get stagnant at one point of time. There's a theory, or I read this somewhere, that an average student, once he graduates, he never picks up a book. But I'm pretty sure all of us in Toastmasters, we indulge in self-development and personal growth, that we are here for a reason. And let's face it, all of us have ideal time. But what we can do is to get the maximum out of it. There are two choices. You either take rest and become rust, or take the maximum out of it and create a wonderful life. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Punit. Okay, with this topic, I think you are motivating people with the idle brain to go to Toastmasters Club. That's a good motivation. You're doing the BPPR activity here as well. Thank you so much for that. So, is there any other guest who's interested? I can see many guests. Before I pick, can you please wave your hand? Okay, yeah, we have our general editor, Rika. Is it okay if I pick?
Yeah, if no other role players are there, or else like.
Yeah, or 1 second, Rekha, can you just hold on a minute, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lakshmanan, can you do one thing? Can you announce the topic and then ask people if they want to volunteer?
Okay.
Right,
that's
so.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. I think just Sabrina has raised his hands.
Oh.
Hands? Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Guess Sabrina, it's going to be a very simple topic to you. Thanks for volunteering. Okay. What gets you excited about life? What gets you excited about life? It's a very simple topic. Yes, Sabrina.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The life is pretty funny, crazy one for me. Actually, I did life in an adventurous manner. I have joined in an NCC where I have participated in many camps. It did well. I did well in the NCC camps. It actually went adventurous for me for the last 4 years. Actually, we had done so much punishments. We have done trekking activities. I have done participated in many camps. So what I have learned from the camps is thirst of success, we will get the success only after we worked hard for it. When we have dedicatedly spent our time to the activities that what we really love and what we really want. So if we work for such things, we will definitely get success, and we will definitely fulfill our thirst of living a life. So enjoying simultaneously with working hard to the work we desire will give you happiness in the life. In our life, we have to be so dedicated to dedicate ourselves to something, and we have to work for it until we get success on it. So if we do such things in every activities, we will get succeed. The success is not the goal of our life, but success should be the destination of our life. Destination to our life. So while during the path, we have to be so happy. Such work will make us happy, and such work will definitely be a good way of approaching that way of living a life. So have I would like to conclude with the quote, thousands of miles starts with a single step. So we have to start for very great things that should definitely to be exciting to you and exciting to the people. You should not suffer anyone. We should make our life happy with a fruitful destination. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina. That's an excellent speech. Thanks so much. So the next one, maybe I'll announce this topic first. Then we can, people who are interested can raise their hands. Okay. If early bird catches all the worm, how are the other birds still alive? If early bird catches all the worm, how are the other birds still alive? Any volunteers? Yes, it's Deepak. Deepak. Yeah, Deepak.
Yes, it catches the worm, and still I am alive. Why? My sister, I have an elder sister. She got all the encouragement she needs to get from the firstborn of the family. So, well, you know, I am still alive. I can even, I understood the care of the parents is not feeding just the one bird, it fed me also. And of course, they thought the first child is more caring. People say that. But in my house, my mom used to care me more. So then the early bird got disappointed because of me. So I feel this quote. I feel that I became the later bird, but still I caught all the worms. And this is my understanding of life as well. Whoever comes first is not the reason. Whoever finishes first is the best, wins the race. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Deepak. You handle it very well. Thank you so much. Okay, the next topic is that maybe it's more appropriate to the lockdown situation. There is a quote like, good things come to those who wait. Good things come to those who wait. And how would you explain this to a bachelor who was waiting inside the house for this lockdown period? Is any volunteer there? So, Toastmaster Srikanth Krishna.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Topic Master. Good things comes to the person who waits literally means that whatever may be the outcome for all the efforts that you put in your life is not within your reach and not what you can predict. But what is very certain is that you can make 100% effort at the task or the job or whatever you are doing. And with good faith, if you leave the result of your action to whatever you call it, higher consciousness or whatever, the creator, whoever it is, you would definitely get a justified result and a justified fruit for the labor that you have put, which by all means, I can tell you with certainty, by all means, it would be a just and very, very exact for what you have done. So what you do is within your hand, and what you get out of it is none of your business. You can only expect to get the best. So you have to wait with the faith that you would be getting an appropriate result for all the sweat and toil that you have put in your life. And when you do this, you get immense satisfaction, knowing that you have done, and also knowing the best is on its way. And you have to have faith in that. And this faith is what makes you do your next task even more better. The more you do better, the better the results would be. Thank you very much. Back to you, Topic Master.
Thank you, Srikanth sir. Thank you so much. So the next topic is, again, I will let you know the topic. Okay. A smart person knows what to say. A wise person knows whether to say or not. A smart person knows what to say. A wise person knows whether to say or not. Or if you want any simple topic, I can change the topic.
Toastmaster.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Rekha had volunteered.
Give a try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you repeat it? Can you repeat the topic?
A smart person knows what to say. A wise person knows whether to say or not.
Okay, so I'll give it a try. Yeah, a smart person knows what to say, and a wise person knows whether to say or not. See, what to say, you may be well versed in your topic, or you know what exactly to say, but whether the recipient really wants to hear from you, based on that is where you are going to volunteer. Not only saying, even if you're going to help, okay, so you need to understand whether the other person really wants or not. I again can from my experience, I can say, like a few years ago, if I find something is right or wrong, I used to keep telling everyone, this is right, this is wrong, shower them with my advices, suggestions, and on all those things. Whether they take it or not, I keep sharing my thought process. It may be right, it may be wrong. But later, when I was introspective myself, whether I am listening to every advices which I am hearing. No, right? So only when I volunteer to ask somebody for suggestion, only that I listen and I take it up. So likewise, I was reflecting upon, I keep advising or giving my thought process to others. Are others listening to my advice? Is it waste of time for me? Is it spoiling the relationship? I would say like the same with my son. I keep telling him, read that, read this, and all those things. Now I have taken a seat back. I understand that he's a teenager. When he really wants to listen from me, he comes to me and he asks me. So I maintain my things, and I think I become a little wiser. But still, it is difficult to be 100% wise person to stop myself. Now and then my smartness peeps, but I try to maintain my wiseness of to tell what to tell and what not to tell, whether to tell to this person or not to tell this person. I am learning to become a wiser person. I hope someday, sometime I become wise. So back to you, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rekha. You're already wise. We know that very well. So, okay, I have one last topic if you have time. Or okay, Neemam, you're on mute.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. See, since you Rekha talked about this generation, I thought the last question could be very simple and someone younger one can answer it. The question is like, every generation complains about the previous generation. We all know, like, what do you complain about the previous generation and why? So I'll repeat it again. So every generation complains about the previous generation. So what do you complain about the previous generation and why? Is there anyone to pick this topic?
Can I go for it?
Yes, Abhilash, very much.
All right. So very warm good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and everyone. So I could relate to this, because just as I was coming into my room, bring her in here for a live demo. Switch off the fan and light and go. So this is one thing which I have been facing since almost for 2-3 years, this is the thing I've been facing. Whenever I come out, sometimes I forget to switch off the lights and fans in a room. I honestly don't know why she makes a big deal out of it. And believe me or not, monthly, on the 4th or 5th of every month when she pays the electricity bill, I definitely get it. It is 1,500 rupees. See, because of you, you're wasting so much. When the irony is, I spend half my time in office. So I go morning 7, I return evening 8, but still she keeps shouting. And I still don't get the significance of what is, see, it is not that I always keep it on or I always switch it off. But sometimes when I do this, the anger or the outpouring of emotion that she shows is something which I still fail to understand. Something very simple, but I mean, she doesn't even scold me if I get relatively less marks or anything. But if I leave a light or a fan on, oh my God, it is a crime for which I could be executed. That is the level of emotion that she goes to. So that is one thing which I actually don't understand. Apart from which I actually do get along with my mother very well. But when it comes to this electricity issue, it's a big no from her. You do it, or I get 1 hour of just not scoldings. It is a more of everything combined, scoldings and everything. So that is something I don't understand. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Abhilash. Actually, I had a lot of complaints about my dad when I was very young. One, there are many things. One, like he'll wake up very early in the morning and ask me to wake up around 5 o'clock. I thought, why is making me in the middle of the night kind of thing? But there are many such things. But now, after so many years, now I repeat certain habits which he was doing it, and I know the reason why he did that. So only after time we come to know what our complaints we have could have been the reasons we'll get to know later point in time. Okay, with that we are coming to an end of the table topic session. I hope you all enjoyed, and over to Toastmaster again, Neena Jarman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayan, for a delightful variety of topics. Many of them thought-provoking, and I'm sure they've had everyone putting on their thinking caps. Now, for the benefit of guests and those of you who feel that table topics is something that is really scary, I have a couple of tips for you. One, remember Mark Twain's quote that it took him 2 weeks to prepare a really good impromptu speech. Right? So there is no such a thing as an impromptu speech. Whatever you say is based on your experiences, your life, and whatever is happening. So that is one part of it. Secondly, those of you who are really interested in improving your Toastmaster skills, I would suggest note down the topics that we have every week. Write them down in a notebook, practice them when you're at home, and practice them with 2 different approaches, and you will see yourself improving with timing and with practice. We move on now to our next session, which is, as I said, the quality control session. I'm going to hand over the mic to Toastmaster Rekha, who is our general evaluator, and she's going to take us through the rest of the session. Back to you, ma'am, Rekha.
Thank you, Madam DTM Neena John. So back again, the general evaluator. So as I said, I have one more set of team who is going to help me to evaluate the speakers to help them to improve their speech ability. So the first speaker, the first evaluator is Toastmaster Jagdish. So to introduce him, he is a purchaser in Vesta Wind Technology. And he loves the one thing he loves in Toastmaster is equal opportunity. And again, connecting with the word of the day, his enigma is he wants to, his enigma is how to deliver a speech without getting one recommendation. So the person who wants to have a speech without a recommendation is going to provide his recommendation to his speaker. So back to you, Toastmaster Jagdish.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Once again, very good evening to all the guests who are there, and special evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Tarun. Toastmaster Tarun, baby steps are always special in our heart. Kudos to you in delivering the first icebreaker speech. Toastmaster Tarun, there were many good points which I observed in your speech, but I am limiting myself only to the 2 commendations. The first commendation is speech title, Inseparable Vigor and Passion. Toastmaster Tarun, speech title plays a major role in any speech because it sets a tempo for the next 4 to 6 minutes. And in your case, I was curious to know what is your vigor and passion. In fact, when you started talking about the oil painting as one of your passion, I was able to visualize what's going to be your message. Very well done. And then second commendation is confidence. I really like the confidence which you brought in throughout your speech. It never looked like an icebreaker speech. I wish you could carry forward the same confidence in your future speech as well. Coming to the recommendation part, there are 3 recommendations I would like to give you to take your speech to the next level. First recommendation is structure of the speech. I feel the structure of the speech needs to be fine-tuned because in any icebreaker speech, you should talk about your family, your childhood, hobbies, interests, and then your goals. But in your speech, you spoke about your goals first, and then your parents, your childhood, siblings, and then your interest. Of course, you met all your objectives of an icebreaker speech, but I started thinking like, okay, why is talking in a reverse order? So kindly work on the structure. And then second recommendation could be connecting the dots. There are some enigma in your speech which I felt difficult to understand. There are a couple of examples like your father dropping you at your school at 9 o'clock for the exam, and then you pouring sugar in PT master's bike. So these may be relevant points to inform who you are to the audience, but I felt the placement of these scenes in your speech is of no logic. So please work on that. And then last recommendation could be too many numbers. Toastmaster Tarun, your speech had many numbers starting from learning the painting at 10th and could not continue it during your 11th and 12th, and then completing 75% of the book, then going for cycling at 3 a.m. to 10 a.m., covering 126 kilometers, and your father dropping you at 9 o'clock for the 9 o'clock exam. So if you put more numbers, then audience might lose the connectivity. So request you to reduce the numbers in your speech. To summarize the things, the speech title was great, and I really like your confidence. So if you could work on the structure and reduce the numbers, and also if you eliminate the missing logics, for sure, you could take your speech to the next level. All the very best for your future speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jagdish. I was lost in your evaluation. Then suddenly I realized that I am the general evaluator. So next, yeah. So the next evaluator is Toastmaster Shrikant. He is working in railways and he is a very enthusiastic Toastmaster. His answer to what his enigma is, that is definitely an enigma where for me, I couldn't get it. The ignorance that the majority of human beings don't make an attempt to know that they are spiritual beings going through a human experience. So what I understand is like people have to connect to spirituality, which is not done. That is what is your enigma to understand about human beings. So with this, I hand over back to you, Toastmaster Shrikant, for you to evaluate Toastmaster Nanda's speech. Back to you, Toastmaster Shrikant.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, for those very kind words. Toastmaster Nanda, the shortcomings of the first delivery has been rectified and overcome in the second delivery. That was the interesting thing for you to open your speech. And what I really liked was the transformation that happened in your life. And here, the catalyst is Toastmasters. And the first thing was how talkative you were, and you never had time to listen to others. You were always putting forth your ideas. And the second one was you were always looking for perfectionism, which to you seems to be good, but for others, it was not really working. And the third one, the very interesting thing is the purpose life. When you told us about all this, the first objective of your speech has been met. We got to know you as a person. And when you started explaining each and everything as a sequence, starting from your days as you were and how you transformed in different stages of your life and how you concluded that there is a reason for you to find out why you are here and what you have to do. Those had the second objectives fulfilled, because in public speaking, the most important requirement, the most fundamental requirement, or the most important structure is your opening, the body, and the conclusion. You had all this very well organized. So as far as the objectives of your speech is concerned, you have a tick mark for the objectives. Having said that, what is that you could do to really strengthen these structures is, I would want you to add more of dramatics. I want you to more expressive, because when you have so much of information, which is very vital to share to others, why don't you add more of your emotions with gestures, maybe your hand gesture, looking into the audience. This is the one place that I want you to really work on. And the second one, which was very interesting, was that your humor, your sense of humor. It took me a second to sink in that you had humor, that the lifestyle that you were having, where there was a lot of sugar in your blood, you had kidney in your stones, and natural gas. Oh my God, you found the right word so that none of us felt embarrassed. So these were also very interesting, but try to work on that emotion aspect with a lot of dramatics, your eye contact. It would be a beautiful, strong, structured speech to bring forward to your next speech. So in a whole, the objectives of your speech has been met, as I've told you where you have done well and the objectives met. And the second part that I want you to do is, I keep repeating, try to improvise by yourself. Just try to go through in your mind's eye how you spoke and where you think you could do better, because always it is you who's going to be the best judge of how you have done. Toastmaster Nanda, all the very best to you. Back to you, Toastmaster Rekha. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shrikant. So next, the third evaluator is Toastmaster Venu. And before I call upon him to evaluate Toastmaster Vratika's speech, Venu reminded me today when I asked him about his introduction that we both started the journey together. We participated in an icebreaker marathon. And when I saw his introduction, I feel like how much lagging I am in the journey, but still I'm so proud of Toastmaster Venu. So he is working in Airports Authority of India, and he has played various roles like including president of Chennai Toastmasters Club, and he conducted YLP for 500 plus students in Panimalar Engineering College. That is an excellent contribution to the society and representing CTM. He is an excellent painter. And with this, I will hand over the control to Toastmaster Venu to evaluate Toastmaster Vratika's speech. So before that, his enigma, when I asked him what is his enigma is to understand what is true knowledge is. I think, yes, it definitely is. Back to you, Toastmaster Venu, to evaluate Toastmaster Vratika.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for such an introduction and such an evaluation on me. And good evening, Onandal, and special good evening to my target speaker. First of all, let me congratulate Toastmaster Vratika for having successfully kickstarted her level 2 project. Toastmaster Ratika, what I liked in your speech is the way you started. With a smiling face, you started your speech. That's really every audience wants. That's really a good way of communication, because every audience wants to see a pleasant face. That's you did an awesome job. Kudos to that. Then you just brought all the different communication styles as per the project objectives, and you shared your experience and personal experience, and how your personal experience communication style had impacted on others, and accordingly you brought all the project objectives and you got it fulfilled. That's really a very good thing. I appreciate that. And one more thing I admire in your speech is the confidence. See, I can say that only a few Toastmasters can gain confidence during this short span of time. You are the one among them, so very good. I'm very happy to see that. So overall, it's a very good speech. I enjoyed your speech, and you fulfill all the project objectives, everything you did. But any good speech may require some kind of improvements, right? So I have a few improvement points and suggestions. The first one is the structure, because in your speech, based on your structure, what I felt, it was like just putting the cart in front of horse. Because what you did, you just explain your personal communication style and your personal story. Then you just, to fulfill the project objective, you explain about the different kinds of communication styles. Instead of that, if you had explained the different kinds of communication style first, and then if you explain about your communication style and how that your personal communication style had impacted on others, then it would be you are not only covering the project objective, also you are giving a holistic and fulfilled speech. So that in that manner, if you work on your structure, that would be fine. And next is, I would suggest, even in legacy program, we don't suggest at this time, because in pathways, I am entitled to suggest that your gestures. So any gestures should be purposeful. Your gestures, most of the time you are moving your hands here and there without synchronizing with your message. So you can avoid that unnecessary gestures and you can focus your message. So when you are unnecessary, unwanted gestures about deviating from your message, so you can focus on that also. So with that suggestion, I would say that you are a very good, confident speaker, and you are. I'm really happy to see your improvement also. Without an enigma, you proved and you explained your communication style also. I'm looking forward to hear many of your speeches. Over to you, General Evaluate.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Venu. So now it is time for us to listen to our tagged report. So the first, let me call upon Toastmaster Deepak to submit his, okay, before even I proceed, Timer, can you confirm like whether all the speakers, evaluators and TT speakers are eligible for voting?
Yes, Madam General Evaluator.
Excellent. So today there's no disqualification with regarding to the timing. Excellent. So now Toastmaster Deepak, can you please read out your timer report as well as your R counter report? Please unmute yourself, Toastmaster Deepak.
Yes. Can you able to see the screen? Yes. Toastmaster Tarun has taken 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Toastmaster Nanda taken 5 minutes, 13 seconds. Toastmaster Ratika, 7 minutes and 18 seconds. And table topics, guest to Srikaran has taken 1 minute, 21 seconds. Guest Netra has taken 1 minute, 33 seconds. Toastmaster Puneet, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Guest Samrinath, 2 minutes, 23 seconds. And myself, 1 minute, 40 seconds. Toastmaster Srikanth, 1 minute 30 seconds. Toastmaster Rekha, 1 minute 59 seconds. Toastmaster Abhilesh, 1 minute 40 seconds. Evaluators, Toastmaster Jagadish, taken 3 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Srikanth Kuttikrishnan, 3 minutes 4 seconds. Toastmaster Venu, 3 minutes 12 seconds. And I will just read out the table topics R-Counter report first. And as a table topic R-Counter report, guest recurrent has taken 3+ hours, 2 source, and 3+ passes. Guest Netra, 3+ hours, 2 source, and 3+ passes. Toastmaster Punet, 1 hour. Guest Sabrinath, 3+ hour, 3+ so, 3+ passes. And I have it noted down mine. Toastmaster Srikanth, flawless. Toastmaster Rekha, 2 hours, 2 pass, 1 filler word, like what to say. Toastmaster Abhilash, 2 hours and 1 repeated word. And I will share screen for the remaining R-Counter report. Yes, and our TMOD Toastmaster Nina John ma'am, 3+ hours, 1 and speaker number 1, Toastmaster Tarun, 3+ hours, 2 hours, 3+ passes, 2 and. Speaker number 2, Toastmaster Nanda, 3+ passes. Toastmaster Ratika, our speaker 3, is 4 hours. And Toastmaster Venu, evaluator 3, has 2 hours. Toastmaster Table Topics Master Lakshmi Narayanan, 3+ hours, 1 so. General Evaluator Toastmaster Rekha, 2+ hours. And we have Quote-Master Toastmaster Sendil Kumar. We have Evaluator Toastmaster Jagadish. We have Evaluator Toastmaster Srikanth, was flawless. And I would like to give a round of applause for the flawless speakers. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rekha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. So now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Vasant to submit your grammarian report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rekha ma'am. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. On the whole, we have had a great session. Role players, Toastmaster of the Day, Nina ma'am, General Evaluator Rekha ma'am, EDM Master Srijit did an exceptional job in using the word of the day today. Now, moving on to the speakers of the day, TM Tarun delivered and Toastmaster Tarun delivered an exceptional icebreaker speech on vigor and passion. Being from DAV, I could relate myself to a lot of things what he told in the speech. 3 places where I noted some grammatical flaws were, instead of using this is one of the most important, he used this is one most important. He could have rectified that. And instead of saying I have finished 75% in 2 week time, he could have told I finished 75% in 2 weeks time. Third one is
Asant, I'm sorry. Can you give only the good usages with names? And if there are any mistakes, we don't use the speaker's name.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
So just give the,
Toastmaster Nanda did a fantastic job on delivering this icebreaker. There were very less grammatical errors, and his analogy of comparing the speech to delivering a baby was very well articulated. Toastmaster Vratika also delivered a super speech. She also used the word of the day today. When it comes to table topic session, there were a few grammatical flaws like when comparing the present tense and past, some speakers used past tense instead of using the present tense on the places. And when it comes to evaluators report, Toastmaster Jagdish used the word of the day, as well as Toastmaster Venu used the word of the day. All the three evaluator speech were grammatically flawless, and I was not able to notice any flaws with respect to grammatical errors in the evaluator speech. So this is my grammarian report, and overall we had a good session today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vasant, and thank you, Neena ma'am, DTM Neena ma'am, for pitching in and highlighting the right way of performing the grammarian role. So now it's my time to share my report. So to start with what went well or what I liked the most, one, it's a trademark of CTM starting the meeting on time. So we did start the meeting on time. Kudos to that. And every role player did a great job. I would like to specify few roles which who did an excellent job. To start with, the idiom master and the quote master. Quote master, Toastmaster Sendils, today is the first meeting as a Toastmaster, and in the first meeting itself, he took his role as a quote master and he did a fabulous job. Can you all unmute yourself and give him a big hand? Thank you very much. And please hold on to give many more applauses. And our idiom master, Toastmaster Srijit Unni, is also the first timer, and both of them did a fabulous job. Can you all please give them a big hand? Yeah. So none of the role, we all know as experienced Toastmaster, none of the role can be considered as a simple one. It has its own dynamics. So they did a perfect job. And coming to the Toastmaster of the day, DTM Neena John, I really appreciate her because she started her work not only during the meeting, even offline. I remember or I experienced she contacting me, like asking whether I've got the introduction of all the speakers or all the role players whom I have to introduce. So I believe like she has done the same with others, and she started her role even before the meeting has started. And during the meeting, when the meeting started, she had a roll call, like whether everyone have joined. So kudos to that. And the energy was consistent throughout the meeting. So great job, DTM Neena John. And TT Master, yeah, it was an excellent one. You started the TT topics, which are complex TT topic, and gradually you realized and reduced the complexity, and based on the speaker, you simplified the topic, and you connected with the speech. So that was excellent transition between the speakers. I really appreciate you, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, and the evaluators did your part. Great job. Speakers, yes, well done. And what else can be done in a better way? One, I really request every role player to join the meeting at least 5 minutes before the meeting, because you don't know, only when you organize the meeting as XCOM and TMOD or other relevant roles, you know the tension of the people who are organizing the meeting. Like it will be a suspense story, like Rajnikant, whether he'll be coming or not. So role players, please join the meeting well in advance, not 15-20 minutes, I would say at least 5 minutes before the meeting. And one more thing which even I missed, timer, when you are, whomever is going to play the timer role in future, when you are sharing your roles and responsibilities, share the card. So at that time itself, you can test whether the cards are displayed or not. So where the speakers are already in their tension, they need not be tense not to see the timer card. So during your sharing your roles and responsibilities, display your cards, or you can join 5 minutes before the meeting to test all these things. We need not test our mic and all those things only for contest. Even for our regular meetings, we can do the dry run or testing, whatever we call it as. And one more thing, not just for today's meeting, I take this opportunity. I would request all the speakers to connect with your mentors and your project objective. Vet your speech with your mentors. It is not just one-off speech. Every speech is going to elevate you to the next level. So connect with your mentors and vet your speech, practice your speech, and do your best. So this, I thought I will just share now, taking this as an advantage. Yeah. So one more request is, we all invest our time and money to become Toastmasters. And I noted that there are few people, non-role players also there, but I know like it's a fear to volunteer for TT speech, but it's okay. Every one of us flaw, even I did not do my best today. It's okay not to do your best. Try, please volunteer for TT speeches. So I request that. And yeah, one more thing is like as our counter, Toastmaster Deepak, you can have separate reports for timer and our counters. I request you not to bring both together. One, sharing a report, great, good job done on that, but can it be made it in a little better way? Yes, as a separate report, that would have been great. And one more thing is like you can display it in a visible mode. It was like small and it was difficult to see. So these are the things. And as usual, CTM meeting is an excellent one. Every week we have the same energetic meeting. I enjoyed the meeting. I hope we all enjoyed the meeting, and this meeting will help us to elevate to the next level. So back to you, Toastmaster of the day, DTM Neena John.
Thank you, Madam Rekha, Toastmaster. It's been a pleasure listening to that general evaluation speech, and to have a general conclusion about all the different aspects of Toastmasters. I think, as I said, most people think Toastmasters is a place to just come and deliver speeches. But if you look at it, Toastmasters actually helps you improve all your skills, not just in terms of speaking, but in terms of reading, writing, and listening. This is the one place where you can get listening practice. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, because of my spouse, they'll have something about how my spouse doesn't listen to me, so only when I come here and things like that. Forget all that. The fact is, this is the one place where you learn to listen. You learn, for example, as an evaluator, to analyze, assess, and give feedback. Absolutely valuable takeaway from Toastmasters. You learn how to write speeches to make sure you deliver the right impact with the minimum amount of time and the best words that you can use. In terms of anything else, speaking, reading, writing, and listening, Toastmasters hones you in every way. Being a member of Toastmasters, you learn in terms of all the different roles. You learn to multitask. You learn how to deliver, organize, and prepare meetings, and make sure that you are, a lot of times what we are doing is something that you will absorb unconsciously, not necessarily consciously. So therefore, I would request you all to attend every meeting, because it is only by being part of the entire process that you will learn. You can take roles, you can do roles, all that is fine. Make sure you attend consistently, make sure you attend in a committed manner, and that is the one way that you will find that people are learning. And with that, as a last quote from Ralph Smedley, people learn best in moments of enjoyment. I hope all of you have thoroughly enjoyed our Toastmasters meeting today. And what the meeting is all about is no longer an enigma to all the guests who came in here for the first time. Let me end by wishing all of you all the best and welcoming you back to the next meeting, and handing it right now to our presiding Toastmaster Officer, President Ranju Ramachandran. Back to you, President.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Neena John, for that wonderful meeting. Actually, there used to be many meetings with. Actually, we used to have it with themed meetings where we talk about a particular theme. But even it was the first time for me to actually witness a regular meeting without a theme. So yeah, so I actually felt that there might be some areas where it is difficult to cover, but actually, ma'am, from your experience, and it was a cakewalk. So great, ma'am, and we would like to continue this on a regular subject. We would like to have more meetings. So that is one learning from this. Thank you, ma'am. So next we would like to Can the Zoom master confirm if the polls are completed, or shall we start the polls at this moment?
I have launched the polls. The polls are going on, Ranju.
Okay, thank you. So right now, while the poll is going on, can we have some guest feedbacks? Guest, you can please volunteer. Sri Netra, guest. Are you available?
Yes. The table topic was really good, and I thought it would be difficult for me to. I just gave a try, and it was nice participating in that. And then, and I'm just seeing the whole lot as a nice organized way of doing. I hope I'll be continuing here. Thank you. And nice to meet Nina John again. I've been meeting you for the second time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And we would like to have you more in Chennai Toastmasters meetings.
Yeah.
Can we have the next guest? Guest Shabrinath, are you available?
Well, it was a very good session. I'm the first person. I'm attending this session for the first time. Actually, I don't have any experience on a Toastmasters Club. I joined 30 minutes late. However, I enjoyed the session. It was so great. I like the way of conducting such an organized, structured one. So I would like to continue here. It was a very good session I have experienced. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And how did you get to know about Chennai Toastmasters? May I ask?
I have actually searched on internet. Then I have contacted through a contact number. Then I have contacted Mr. Abhirami. She given link. I have joined it.
Great. Good to have you, sir. And we would like to have you in our next meetings as well. Thank you. Can we have next guest, guest Gayatri? Yeah, I think guest Gayatri is not available. Can we have a guest Sri Kiran?
Yeah, hi. This is my first meeting as well. That's great. I mean, to go with the word of the day, the enigma of the internal workings of Toastmasters was cleared for me. I enjoyed it. And to see such amount of effort going into these meetings, it was great. And I hope to join Toastmasters soon. And as Mrs. Nina John said, it's not just speaking that is focused on in Toastmasters. All aspects like reading, listening, everything comes into play. And it was great attending this meeting today. I look forward to next week's meeting. Thanks.
Thank you. And how did you get to know about our club, sir?
I'm a BTech graduate. I just graduated last year. So we had a Toastmasters club in college. I wasn't fortunate enough to join during my college days. So yeah, that's why I'm making an effort to join now.
Thank you. Good to have you, sir. Yeah. Can we have guest Akhilesh next?
Hello?
Yes.
You hear my voice?
Yes. Guest Akhilesh, please go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, it was a very interactive session.
Great. And how did you get to know about our club?
TMC Abhilash told me about this.
Thank you. And we would like to have you more guest like Akhilesh in the upcoming meetings as well.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. Are there any other guests who would like to give their feedbacks or share any comments? Any other guests? Okay. So now I would like to continue the closing address since the guests are completed. So now I have received the poll results for today, and while I announce, I would like all of you to unmute yourself and give a big round of applause to all the people who have performed really well and made this meeting a wonderful meeting. Yeah. So first, I would like to start with the tag role player. So any guesses for the tag role player? The timer, accountant, and grammarian? Yeah, it's the person who took multiple the mantles on their head, and it is none other than Toastmaster Deepak, who did a fabulous job with the timer and grammarian, sorry, accountant role together. Congratulations, Toastmaster Deepak. So next we have the best quote master / idiom master segment. It goes to none other than the first time role player, Toastmaster Senthil. So I have 24 participants, but I can hear only one person clapping. Yeah. So next we have our evaluator, the best evaluator for the day goes to Toastmaster Jagadish. Congratulations. And our next award is for the best role player. Our best role player award goes to Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Nina John ma'am, for the Toastmaster of the day. Next is our best table topic speaker. It goes to Toastmaster Deepak. And finally, the best prepared speaker for the day. Any guesses from the audience? It goes to Toastmaster Vratika. Congratulations. So congratulations to all the winners for today's meeting. And next week we would be having we are hopefully planning to have a hybrid meet next week. And we would be having a demo of the hybrid meet on Saturday just to ensure the controls are being done. So post that we would announce the final result. And yesterday also we had a testing. So it is better to like meet physically, and we are always like trying to find different venues and moving to this. So that is update about that. And the venue, the meeting details, and all other details would be shared in the WhatsApp group in our Toastmasters group. That is the update about our hybrid meeting. And that brings us to the end of this meeting number 768. And now it's 5:58. So if we have 2 more minutes, I formally adjourned the meeting as of now, and we would meet next Sunday 4 to 6 p.m. for our meeting number 769. Thank you one and all. And now I would like to move our meeting into an informal meet. We are getting some queries in the chat box asking what is a hybrid meet. So now we have moved into an informal meet. So anybody could like comment, and we can all have an informal chat. Yes.
Ranju, just sorry to interrupt. Before that, just one small request. Our icebreaker speeches, could we have a round of applause?
1 second, Abhilash. Sorry for interrupting. Just stop the recording, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana.